All right, let's do it. All right, we are now live. Hey, players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories, teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be talking about the 4 stages of being popular that every teen needs to know. Guys, I'm super excited to walk you through this topic because I've been doing a lot of research on this. The idea hit me where I was thinking, how important is popularity in development? How important is popularity in growth after school? Once you move into the adult world and you start finding jobs, and how do you maintain friendships? Where does popularity fit in? So if you're someone that's popular in high school, if you're someone that's popular in middle school, or even if you're not popular, how does that affect your chances of having a happy and successful life? So I'm going to walk you through the 4 stages of popularity here. I think it's really interesting because what I uncovered from this research kind of aligns with a lot of the principles I talk about. So I definitely wanted to share it with you guys here. Now, before I get into that though, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. Those are the people that are jumping into the live stream right as soon as this darn stream thing is not working. Right as soon as we began, guys. So if you're someone that's jumping in, or you're someone that's already been in here waiting since the beginning, say hello in the stream. I want to give shout outs to everyone in here. Let's see who we got. Horror Moore is in here. Hamish K, Sloth Nans, Elijah Chadwick, Softweight, good to see you, man. Yancey Cobian, Everglow 101, Andrew Milligan, Cheyenne Hall, Benji Leon Ginger, Account 1. Let's see. VO1DY is in here. Christian Brown, Crystal Tillman, Sensei Moon, Stuart Douglas, happy to have you, Stuart. Rage Masters in here. Dynamite, Haley Davidson. Haley says I'm not popular. That's okay, Haley. Neither was I. The Toy Maker is in here. Let's see if I can catch everyone as the chat moves. Red Lightning is in here as well. Lawrence David. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, thank you so much for the $10.31 super chat. Let me see if it pops up here. It should pop up. I don't know why it's not. Hopefully it pops up. But either way, let me read your super chat before I keep moving forward here. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon says, I was never popular in any of my schools except for one, and I was hoping to stay in that school for the rest of my high school. But then I had to move from Yonkers to upstate area New York. Yeah, I hear you on that. Moving to different schools can sometimes increase the chances of you being popular, or even decrease the chances. Let's say you're going to a school where, you're not very popular, you're not very well liked, you don't really know how to interact with the people there, and you're kind of struggling a lot. Sometimes going to a new school gives you the opportunity to start fresh, to kind of reinvent yourself. Sometimes it's like, as you go from grade to grade and you're awkward and you're shy, it's hard to break out of that once people already know you as that. So that new school provides that opportunity. And then sometimes that's not the case. Really what it comes down to is sometimes there's a deeper issue. And that deeper issue is, how do I kind of work through these feelings of anxiety or insecurity or doubt in myself in getting people to like me or getting people to think I'm an interesting person? Those are the deeper questions and deeper challenges you may be running into, and they're definitely worth exploring. But I hear you on that, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'm going to do a chat poll, so I definitely want to get your perspective on it once I do that. Let's see. Sensei Moon, Josh, I need to get girls to like me. Let's see, Elijah Chadwick. Okay, I think we said our hellos for that. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon followed up and said, and after that, I was in a new school with students and teacher staff hated me completely. Or in this case, I was back to my unpopular school self. Guys, is the sound really high? I don't know if it's too... I see the mic going into the red a lot. So if I need to move it back a little bit, let me know. But either way, yeah, I hear you on that. Now, I want to walk through these 4 points here. Before I do that, I definitely want to say this, guys. If anyone has a burning question, this is something that's on your mind that you just want to get my opinion on, you just want me to read what you're saying and share my perspective, you can always use the super chat function. You can do $1, $2, or $10.31 like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon did. Your question will pop up front and center. I'll stop what I'm talking about. I will answer your question. I believe that super chats are definitely worth addressing here and there, as well as the chat. I love reading the chat and interacting with the chat, guys. On this live stream, I'm definitely want to hear from you guys. I definitely want to hear your stories as I walk through this. So we'll do a chat poll here just because I'm curious. I want every single person watching. I see all the people right now watching. I see the amount of people watching. I want every single person in here to answer this question. Were you or are you ever popular in high school? And popular, I leave for you to define in your own way. Did you ever feel like you were popular in high school, or if you're in school in general? It could be middle school, even college, even. Did you ever feel like you were in high school? Oh, you gave 1031 for Halloween. That is awesome. I cannot deny that. That is an awesome thing to do, man. That's cool. Yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have you ever been popular? I don't know if that sound is choppy. But if anyone can let me know, just let me know. Okay, so here's what you guys had to say. VO1DY says no. JRV Poopy says no. Andrew Milligan says no. Divine says no. Red Lightning says no. I'm stupid. Sorry to hear that, man. Stewart says sort of. Cheese Legion says no. Jalen says yes. Donna says, oh, nothing much. He's responding to Rage Master. Let's see. Davidio says, not really. Electro Dynamite Time says yes. Dynamite says, I'm kind of popular. Sloth Nans, not at all. Crystal Tillman, no. Martin says, kinda. Pokemon says, an obvious only ones to answer to your question. I hear you on that, man. JRV Poopy, I laugh every time I say that. It says, kinda. Cheyenne Hall says, kinda. So we got a bunch of no's. We got some kindas, and we got a few yeses here and there. Hamish says, yes. Guys, yeah. So as I walk through these points here, I want to kind of share something. So as I was doing this research, I came across this book, which I think is a fascinating book. It's called Popular by Mitch Prinstein, and it dives into finding happiness and success in a world that cares too much about the wrong kind of relationships. So I discovered this book through an article as I was reading the research on popularity and kind of where people fall and how important it is. And what fascinated me about this book is that he kind of breaks down popularity into 4 different kind of quadrants. So what I wanted to do in this live stream was walk you through those 4 quadrants, and I wanted you guys to see, hey, where do I currently fall? Where do I want to be, or where can I imagine myself being in terms of this kind of popularity matrix that I'm going to build out? Also, I added this book to my 2020 reading list. The link is down below, guys. If you want to check out the link to this book on Amazon, on Amazon, I have a list of all the books I recommend reading. They're books that I've read, books that I love. So I can't wait to dive deeper into the full context of this book. I've only read passages and I've read little excerpts here and there, so I definitely want to jump in and read it. And if any of you guys are interested in reading it, I would highly recommend it as well. So let's jump in here and let's look at the quadrants here. Let's take a look at what exactly it is we're looking at. So this is how he kind of lays it out, at least from what I read and understand so far, in terms of there's high status and low status in school. There's low likability and there's high likability. So if you kind of look at the range here, you can have high status, low likability, high status, high, low status, low status, high. That's kind of, obviously how these matrices work. Now, popularity in school falls into this kind of setup here, where depending on how other people perceive you, depending on how you carry yourself in school, depending on how you interact with others, or depending on how you don't interact with others, will place you in a different category here. Yeah, it's kind of a political compass. I think it's, there's a lot of different compasses out there, and this one is something that I wanted to kind of build out for you guys to kind of think about. So I'm going to walk you through each of these quadrants. Now, just a little bit of backstory here. For myself growing up, when I was in school, I wasn't really a popular kid. Yes, I had groups of friends and people that I talked to, people I hung out with, but outside of the few people that I knew, I hit the mic, outside of the few people that I knew, I was really nervous about interacting with new people. If I had to go to lunch and none of my friends were there, I felt so awkward and weird because it's like, well, who else do I talk to? Who else do I interact with? Anthony, and it isn't always a matter of like you fall into, like one box specifically. Sometimes there are elements of different boxes that you incorporate. So as I walk you through what each box means, hopefully you can kind of see where you may fall into or anything like that. I leave it to you guys to determine that, and I'm definitely going to do a chat poll to see where you guys feel you fall. And the main struggle I had in terms of popularity was that I always kind of envied the popular kids. I looked at them like, well, why are they popular? Why does everything just seem so smooth and easy for them, right? That was always such a point of anger for me. It's like, well, they can get into relationships, they can make friends, they do well in school, everything just goes well for them. And me, I feel like I'm struggling by myself. I'm the only one dealing with it. Now, I'm going to drop off a little hint here. every person is struggling. No matter how much they play it off like they're not, no matter how much they act like they have it all together or how much you think they have it all together, everyone is struggling in their own way. Everyone has their own hardships, their own doubts, their own fears, their own levels of success that they're trying to measure up to. We are all struggling to try to find our place in this world and find our own hold in this world. So let's walk through these different points here, guys. Now, the first one I want to kind of cover is this. This is high status and low likability. This is that top left quadrant. And these people can probably be considered the popular bullies in school. Now, let me walk you through what I mean by popular bully. You might have encountered people like this in school. Some of you might even be this person, be this role. And that's not to say that you're bad or wrong, but I want you to think about, have you ever embodied this role, guys? The popular bully. When I talk about the popular bully, what I'm essentially talking about is someone in school that is really well known, that everyone talks to or everyone talks about, but they're not very liked. Maybe they command a sense of notoriety because they have power or status over you. Or maybe they're just someone that a group of kids who bully others like, but everyone else is like, that person's kind of a jerk, or that person's kind of mean, or that person, is not the nicest person in the world, or not the most helpful, or they kind of have gained status by bringing me down or making me feel small. Have any of you guys ever encountered a popular bully before? I'm curious. I want you guys to jump into the chat. We'll do a chat poll here because I definitely want to get your guys' perspective here. But before I do that, I want to say thank you, Andrew, for the £5 super chat. I appreciate it, Andrew. Andrew said, "I just found out that my ex, that I still like but I don't want to date, has a new boyfriend. Any tips on how I can stop feeling jealous and ignore it?" That's a really good question, Andrew. Look, when you break up with someone, even though you may not have romantic feelings for them in the sense that you want to still date them, there is still there is still kind of lingering feelings there. It can make you feel, it can make you feel some kind of way knowing that someone else is now going to get to know them in an intimate way, or they're going to move on and be happy, and maybe that you guys didn't have the best of breakups and it makes you feel bad. It's like, oh, why are they moving on? Why is it so easy for them? How can they just move on so quickly? All these thoughts may run through your head. So, you asked specifically, any tips on to not feel jealous and to ignore it? Look, the truth is, I think it isn't so much ignoring it as it is acknowledging it, recognizing, okay, at some point they were going to move on. Maybe they did it too soon. Maybe they are boasting about it and showing it off. Who knows? But acknowledging that, hey, look, this is the reality of it. We're no longer together. This was bound to happen. I have to kind of accept that. That's going to be the key piece here. And then I think to prevent yourself from getting jealous, you need to kind of ask yourself this key thing. Ask yourself, what did I learn from that relationship? What was I missing from that relationship? And what do I want to do better in my next relationship? This is going to be key, asking those questions, because if you can really think, hey, you know what? We got along really well, but for some reason, whenever I had to bring up a problem, she got upset with me. Okay, so I noticed that maybe I have to work on how I communicate better. And then in the next relationship, that's something I want to make sure is solid before I get into a relationship with that person. So I think the way through jealousy, the way to get over jealousy, is to really think about what you can take into your next relationship and to get excited, to get empowered, to feel like, all right, I want to look for someone that I can fix those issues that I ran into before, someone that's going to love me and care about me and I can, move on and be happy with. And a big part of that is once you kind of identify those things, go out and look for that person. Try to find someone that can fill that role. Start dating other people. Start talking to other people. Start putting yourself out there more, because that's really going to help you move forward. Thank you so much, Andrew. Hey, Hamish, thank you for the £5 super chat. Hamish said, "Josh, what's the best way to get guitar lessons during the lockdown until I can see my original teacher?" Yeah, Hamish, I hear you on that. It's hard to kind of practice music, but a lot of people have been doing it online. I know my brother does voice singing lessons and he's been practicing online. You may want to look for an online tutor for now, Hamish. I know that you can't meet them in person, but you may even want to see if your teacher can do it online. Maybe you guys can jump on a Zoom call and you can practice and he can kind of correct you there. Yes, the sound might not be perfect, but I think that's probably the best way to do it. There are lots of options online. I would recommend taking some of them. So guys, back to what I was saying there. I was talking about the popular bully. The popular bully falls in that high status, low likability stage up in the top left there, right? So the issue with the popular bully, if you're someone that wants to be a popular bully in school, I wouldn't really recommend it. And here's why. Popular bullies kind of direct by force, direct by strength, direct by attitude, but not in a good way. People don't look at you as someone that they can turn to for help. Oh my God, I keep yawning. People don't look at you as someone that they can confide in and open up to. They look at you as someone that they're scared of. Now, some people think fear is a good thing to have from those around you, right? Like, oh, it's good that people fear me. But the truth is, when people fear you, they pull away from you. They're not honest with you. They don't open up as regularly. They don't want to share things with you because they're afraid they're going to get shamed or mocked or made fun of. So one of the stages in school, the stage of being the popular bully, I think ultimately leads you to a point of failure. And here's why. Once you kind of move out of this school stage, right? Once you graduate from high school, if you've learned to build kind of your sense of likability and your sense of popularity on bullying others, when you go into the real world, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to kind of start to realize that life is all about compromise. Life is all about being understanding. Life is all about patience. And if you're not practicing those skills now, and instead you're practicing trying to get over everyone else or trying to control everyone else, well, then you're going to have a hard time, because when you get a job, you're going to need to listen to a boss or understand how to work with the team or how to deliver on people's needs and desires. And being a popular bully is not going to allow you to do that. So popular bullies really do kind of struggle out there in the real world because they're so used to kind of having everyone under their thumb and doing what they say that when you kind of get out there, that's not how the world really works. So having that low likability is what kind of makes it hard for people to connect with them. And they start to see that it's difficult for them to form meaningful relationships, right? With a lot of bullies, people who become bullies, they do struggle with those deep connections with other people. It's a hardship that they actually run into, and it only gets harder as they go along. So if you're someone that wants to be more popular in school, if being popular is something that you're interested in, I wouldn't recommend taking the route of popular bully. Like I said, I don't think that it's the best route to take. I don't think it's the healthiest route to take. I think it actually makes it harder for you to kind of really develop deeper, meaningful relationships as you go on. Now, I want to hear you guys here because I asked you guys, have you ever encountered a popular bully in school? What are some of your stories? What have some of your experiences been like? Alex Burns says, I have experienced once high up and populated, someone punched me down and then popular went low. Okay, I hear you on that. Let's see. Sensei Moon says, I got taught if I lose is when I say lost. Yeah, I hear you. Harmar says, Josh, who are you going to be for Halloween? Sadly, I don't know if I'm dressing up this year for Halloween. I'm kind of not really doing Halloween because I'd love to dress up and give out candy and do that whole thing, but I feel bad. I don't want kids to come by and start touching things and being around each other, and people might not be wearing masks. I don't want to create that environment, so I'm going to just enjoy Halloween from a distance this year, sadly. Azim asked a good question. How are popular bullies different from bad boys? Sometimes they are different, sometimes they're not. Here's the thing. When we think of traditional bad boys, that we think of people that, they don't follow the rules, they do what they want, they don't listen to anyone. And it's like they embody qualities that we admire and we like, right? Like looking at the chart. Oh man, keep yawning. All right, looking at the chart here, like we admire people of high status, right? We look at them with reverence. We say, wow, look at them. They're popular. Everyone knows who they are. They're so cool. Like we look at them like that. But the truth is, because they have low likability, that's what kind of makes it hard for us to actually want to be around them, right? So when you think of bad boys tend to fall in this quadrant, the popular bully, right? Because they don't want anything to do with anyone. They keep their own role, but we think they're so cool and we think that they're so interesting. So I guess the bullying piece really is the difference between a bad boy who just is going his own way and then a person who is actually just kind of making other people feel small. Everglow says, I used to be low popularity and low likability. Yeah, I'm going to get to that one in just a minute or so. Haley said, my bully made me have deep depression and go to virtual school. Jeez, I'm so sorry to hear that, Haley. Oh, man, it's so... some people out there, I feel like they have such a hard time being aware of their actions, and they are struggling with so much that they just flip the script on other people, and they're so unaware of how to handle and manage their own internal problems that they just make other people feel small and bully them and make fun of them and hurt them and harass them, and it's horrible. It's horrible. Haley said, bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do? Let's see. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon said, I feel like I might have been a popular bully after I moved to that new school as well as any other school I went to. The only school I really liked hardly had any rules to it. I hear you on that. Filmlitical says, hey Josh, big fan of the channel. I'd love to get you on a podcast, and I'm looking to start and get your views on certain things. God and all around interview. Oh, good, God. Yeah, definitely Film Lyrical. Shoot me an email at thejoshspeaks@gmail.com. I'd love to be on your podcast. I've been on a few different podcasts. In fact, I've been on a podcast just recently from BlendTW, if you guys want to check it out. It's their podcast series called MYVOS, Our Story, and they just posted the episode today even. So I'm going to link that up for you guys at some point. But like I said, the popular bully is that top left quadrant. So what comes after the popular bully? What other quadrants here? What else can we do to kind of explore this circle here? Well, the next one is this. Low status and low likability. This is that bottom left quadrant, guys. These are the struggling loners. A lot of times, these are the people that have a hard time making friends, find it difficult to connect with others, feel like no one understands them, or that they're kind of just going through this experience alone in school. I know that a lot of times people dealing with mental health issues may sometimes fall into this category. People dealing with disability problems may fall into this category. People who have depression or anxiety may also feel like they fall into this category. Look, being a struggling loner is not something to make fun of or something to scoff at or something to, just feel like, hey, these people aren't worth it. Because I think a lot of times no one really wants to be in this category. No one really wants to feel like no one likes them and that no one cares about them. They have low status, low likability. No one ever wants to be in this position. So sometimes we may feel like we are. Sometimes we may feel like no one gets us. There's no hope. And I know a lot of times, like, I've spoken to quite a number of people who feel like there is no hope for them. Like, I'll never be able to recover. I'll never be popular. I'll never be likable. And I think that these are the people that have the hardest time moving forward in life, the hardest time kind of growing up. Because when you're in school and you're being told by other kids around you, you're worthless, you're not cool, you're not smart, you're dumb, all these negative things, those things start to settle in and they start to make you feel like maybe they're right. Maybe they're honest. Maybe I am dumb. Maybe I am stupid. Maybe I'm not good enough. And a lot of times we're listening to those people and we're internalizing what they say. And I think that makes it so much harder when you move on in life, when you graduate high school, when you go into college, and you go into the real world, because you start to just doubt yourself. Start to think that you're incapable of succeeding. You're incapable of being heard or being understood. And I want to just say straight to you right now, like, that's just not true. Look, just because you're struggling in school, just because you have hardships, doesn't mean that you don't have value as a person. Doesn't mean that your voice is not worth sharing, and it doesn't mean that your voice is not important at all. I think that when you're in this position of low status and low likability and you feel like you're the struggling loner, it's even more important for people to hear your voice, for people to hear how you're persevering, for people to hear how you can move forward. Now, the question always comes down to, okay, what can I do to kind of get out of here? And I think part of it is the idea of reaching out to other people and trying to form relationships, trying to form connections. Because here's the thing. Those kids who are bullies, those kids who are super popular, want nothing to do with anyone else, they should not be where you should be focusing your attention. Where you instead should focus your attention is on people who have similar hobbies, people have similar interests, people who are motivated in the same topics, school topics, but maybe you both like science, maybe you both like math, maybe you both are video game nerds, or maybe you both really love playing music. Think deeply about those topics, how I can find people in my school that I can connect with on those issues that matter to me. Azim, thank you for the $10 super chat. Azim said, do we have to do everything solely as individuals if we don't drink or join a frat? Like, are we alone compared to popular guys? Popularity pressure doesn't exist after school in the real world, right? Azim, popularity pressure exists at all stages of life. You could be at a job and feel like, hey, you know what? The majority of my coworkers want to do this thing at the job that's unethical or wrong. And I feel like there's pressure because if I say it's wrong, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get in trouble. Popularity exists at all stages of life. But to your point, Azim, you do not have to participate in drinking and partying culture if you don't want to. I went to college and I hung out with my friends. I had lots of good times and amazing memories in college. I hung around them when they drank. I just chose to not participate in it. Now, there are still tons of things that happen in a college environment that don't revolve around drinking. I spent so much time hanging out with people, making friends. All we do was play video games. We played Super Smash Brothers together. There were clubs in college. There were organizations. There were activities. There's a lot that's happening that doesn't only revolve around frats and partying. I know that's like the image of college. Like you go there, you drink, party, but there's so much more that's going on that doesn't revolve around that sense of people. So I would say, Azim, it's about finding your niche, about finding people that you connect with, finding people that understand you, finding people that you want to get to know, people that have similar passions and purposes, and aligning yourself with them. Because I think that you're going to accomplish much more. You're going to feel a lot more secure in yourself. You're going to feel a lot more proud of who you are. You're going to feel more capable in that setting than you would in any other setting where you're trying to just get other people's approval by being popular and drinking. But Azim, thank you for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. I think that's an important question you asked, important for everyone here to kind of think deeply about as well. But as I was saying, if you're in that kind of loner stage, guys, it's incredibly important to think, how can I find other people around me that share similar interests, right? This is going to be kind of the key underlying thing. Is there someone else that loves playing Among Us? Is there someone else that loves listening to hip hop on Spotify? Is there someone else that's learning how to play guitar? Is there someone else that is really into anime? Whatever it is that you're into, try to find people that have similar interests. And most of the time, there are other people in your school. Maybe they're not open and out about it, but there are people that may have similar interests to you. So I want to do a chat poll here, guys. I want to ask you guys this question. Have you ever felt like a loner in your school before? Like people didn't really understand you. You kind of had to do your own thing because no one else would kind of get you. Do you ever feel like a loner? I know I felt like a loner, so I would say yes. I would say here, yes. In school, because like I said, there were times where if my friends weren't around, man, I didn't have anything to do and no one to talk to. I just felt weird. I felt like, what do I do, And here's the interesting thing, and I always thought it was weird. When I was around my friends, I was loud and crazy and wild and had fun. But then when I was in class by myself or around people I didn't know, I was quiet. Everyone in class is like, oh, Josh is the quiet kid. Meanwhile, when I'm with my friends, I'm loud and crazy and stuff. So there was this conflict of my identity. Who was I really? That always kind of came up, I felt. So I asked you guys here, do you ever feel like you were a loner in school? Here's what you had to say. Sensei Moon says no. Benji Leon Ginger says yes. Davidio says yes. Hamish says no. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon says yes. That struggling loner perfectly describes me. However, I don't have any disabilities. VO1DY says yes. Alex Burns says yes. Cheyenne Hall says yes in middle school. Myriad Scorp says, for me, this is your captain speaking. Mazza says yes. Toymaker says at one point, not anymore. Anthony Quentel says yes because no one likes superheroes or other things I like. I hear you on that, Anthony. Look, sometimes it's tough for you to find people that have those interests. I agree. I'm not saying, there's always someone, but I think that, there may be other interests that you have that do overlap, because you got to understand, people your age are probably listening to the same things, watching the same movies to some capacity. So finding something you connect with someone over is the key. I lost it. all the time. Haley says all the time before Anthony. Everglow says my band broke up because our guitarist stole $13,000 of equipment to sell and support his dream. Jeez, that's kind of sucky. Corgi Leon Ginger says, oh yes, plenty of times. I have a disease called type 1 diabetes, and I feel like no one gets what I go through sometimes. Yeah, I hear you on that. Look, like I said, sometimes if you have some kind of thing that you're dealing with that's maybe different from the norm, right, of what people are thinking about, it can be also difficult to kind of make those friends. I've encountered people who have had speech issues, have had vision issues, have had hearing issues, like they're in a wheelchair, they are autistic, they have they have autism. I know Asperger's is kind of a phased out word, or they just have social anxiety, or they have depression, and that creates that barrier, that creates that hardship to kind of connect with others. So I know that it's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy by any stretch, but I think the way to kind of start to allow yourself to become more likable or to feel more likable is to kind of see what you have in common with others, try to find that commonality. I think that's the key step here. Donna says, so I was alone. I had to make friends with seniors. I hear you on that, man. Alexander Cole says, me and my friends used to be bullies, but not really anymore. Yeah, I hear you on that. Look, I did a video all about how I bullied kids and stuff before, how I was bullied. I'll link the bullying video up there. But yeah, it's incredibly important to kind of realize, hey, look, I made mistakes. I did bad things when I was growing up. Let me rectify that. Let me change my ways. Let me act differently. Let me act better now. You can't always change. You can't ever change what's happened in the past. All you can do is reflect, try better, and do better. So I urge every single one of you to do that. Let me read some more of these comments here. Rage Master says, wait, I take that back. Kind of depends, but sometimes depends being but loner when they're not interested or when I'm not interested. Yeah, I hear you on that. Look, sometimes there's no one to talk to and you can feel like a loner in those moments, definitely. Donna says, I was one of the few juniors in a senior-filled economics class, and the other juniors were people who I didn't want to be friends with. Yeah, sometimes you have to make friends because you're in a situation where you have to make friends, right? It may not be the ideal situation, or you may not have much in common with them, but sometimes you're kind of in that position and it can be difficult. Jalen says, hi Josh, I do have a little autism, but a lot of holes. Not sure. You say you do have autism, so I'm okay with my social life, and I'm well known because I'm a black belt. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I know that you do martial arts. I know you dress up in costumes and stuff. You have a lot of cool hobbies, man. I gotta say. Hamish says, Everglow, that's awful news about the band. That guy who stole the stuff should return everything. Yeah, hopefully, but it doesn't sound likely. Darktar says, there's also a thing called group work. Definitely. Sloth Nan says, I always try to be nice to people, but they think I'm weird. I want to be friends with the football players and get the popular girls, but I know that probably won't happen. Sloth Nans, I hear you on that. Look, the girls and the guys who end up being popular sometimes are the most attractive people, the most athletic, or they perform the best in school. I think the way to kind of connect with those people, because here's the thing. A lot of times their inner circle kind of focuses on the things that they like, right? They have their own kind of inner circle of hobbies and interests. But that doesn't mean that, a super popular guy might not also like Marvel, and you might have that in common. Or he might also like playing an instrument, and you might have that in common. I think about the things that you feel personify your persona, and kind of bring that up in conversations with people. Learn about their interests, learn about what they like, and see where the two of you can overlap. Keep burping. Okay, let's take a sip of water, guys, here. Okay. Red Lightning says, Josh, how can I stop my rejection count? That's a good question, Arby. I think that if you're constantly getting rejected, you have to review what your process is for asking someone out. Look, this is why I think a lot of people get rejected. They do the same thing over and over. They ask people out the same way over and over. Instead, they have to think, hey, am I asking out this person too soon? Am I flirting with them too soon? Am I confessing my feelings? Am I taking it slow enough that I ask them out on a date and then I ask them out, to be my girlfriend or boyfriend. Review your process, Arby, for how you go about pursuing girls that you like. I think that you'll see, hey, you know what? Maybe I talk to them too much. I message them too much. Or maybe I try to video chat them when we're not there yet. Really reflect on what you're doing. That's going to help you kind of ease that rejection number. Okay, I want to jump in and say this, guys. Like I said, I'm going to link up the book here because I think that I would love for you guys to check it out. I'm planning on reading it soon. And from the excerpts that I've read and the skimming through chapters, it seems fascinating information. The book kind of dives even deeper into the things that I'm talking about in the stream. So like I said, it's on my reading list. Link is in the description. Just wanted to throw that up. But I also want to say this, guys. Look, making friends, figuring things out is not easy. And what I'm trying to do here is create a community over on Discord that is inviting, welcoming, understanding, and just a fun place to chat and make friends. So if you're someone that is looking for a positive environment where you can share your life experiences, you can joke about things, you can give advice and get advice from other people around you that are dealing with similar things, definitely join the Josh Speaks community. This is the link, guys. Go to thejoshspeaks.com/Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's pretty much like a chatting app. You can have different Discord channels, and then in each channel there's different boards and stuff you can go on. So we have a dating board, a school board, we have a life stories board, and currently we're running an election. So if you guys want to vote and do your due diligence in voting in our Josh Speaks election, you could do that as well. It's just an awesome place, and I'd love to have each and every single one of you in there. What we do make sure to really uphold is people not being mean to each other, people not spamming, people not insulting each other, people not being overly kind of vulgar and stuff, because we have people really of all ages in there, young people, as young kids all the way up to teenagers and people in college, people of all ages. So we try to be mindful of our language and how we speak. But definitely check out the Discord, guys. Definitely join it if you're interested in being part of our community. I'm going to pin it. Let me pin Donna's message here. I'd love to have each and every single one of you guys in it. And another thing I want to say is right after this live stream, I'm going live over on Instagram for our Instagram after party. Now, what's cool about the Instagram after party is that I love to bring you guys on. So if you want to video chat with me, if you want to jump on, say hi, and ask a question, through video, all you have to do is join the Instagram after party, right? It's my Instagram live stream. Follow me, of course, over at the Josh Speaks, and then just request to join, and I'll bring you guys on, and we'll chat and we'll talk. It's really cool. It's very laid back. All the cool kids are there, and you are invited. I'd love to have you on there. So yeah, guys, and then the other piece I want to share here is this. If you want to talk to me privately, if you have something on your mind that you don't really want to share in a live stream or write in a chat here, you don't want to leave as a YouTube comment, you can always become a patron on my channel. Become a patron of my channel. Guys, if you go to patreon.com/JoshSpeaks, I have different tier levels set up where we can have a 30-minute video chat every single month. We can have an hour video chat every single month. We can have 4 hour-long video chats every single month, meaning we can check in once a week for 1 hour about what's going on in your life, how's your process going, what is it you want to work on, setting up goals. That's the mentor status, guys, and I really view Patreon as a way for me to better connect with you. I see it as, look, I get lots of DMs, I get lots of messages all the time. If you become a patron, it's the best way to communicate with me one-on-one, where I can dedicate solid time every single month to working with you and helping you learn and grow and work towards being your best self. Also, if instead you'd prefer to be a YouTube channel member, you can do that as well. Becoming a YouTube channel member, all you have to do is click the little join button down below, and you get to use these cool emojis whenever you post. You get a little cool badge icon next to your name. So definitely check out being a YouTube channel member, and definitely check out Patreon as well, guys. Azim, thank you for the $5 super chat. Azim said, when people tell you whether or not you have a chance with a girl, does the girl or her popular friends have to give you a chance based on your popularity or status? My honest answer to that is that I do think that if you are someone who's not popular and you're pursuing a popular girl, your status is definitely going to play a role. I think that they're going to say, oh, no one even knows who he is, or he's weird, he's creepy, or whatever, or he is popular, he's cool, he's fun, he's interesting. However they look at it, the key here is this, that if you like a girl, if you want to get to know a girl that is popular, you want to ask her out, getting to know her friends and getting inside her world is only going to help you, right? Talking to her friends just as much as you even talk to your crush is going to put you in a positive state in their mind. They're going to say, oh, Azim's actually a pretty cool guy. Oh, he asked you out. You should definitely go out with him. He's a really fun guy to talk to. They're going to talk you up. They're going to kind of lift your popularity and status up. So don't ever look at it like, oh, I just need to only talk to my crush. Recognize who is important in my crush's world. Who is important in my crush's life? Who do they trust? Who do they turn to and talk to and ask for advice? If you can get on the good side of those people, you're only going to kind of increase your chances of actually having a better chance with your crush. So does popularity play a role? Yes, but you can kind of hack that a little bit by getting to know their friends, because that's going to make you look more popular if the friends can talk you up. So take that strategy, Azim. I think that's going to be the most helpful here. I want to move on to the third quadrant here, guys. Let me unpin this. And thank you for the super chat, Azim. Going back here, guys, let's move on to the third quadrant. We're talking top right there, high status and high likability. So when I say high status, high likability, that is going to be this. High status and high likability is the charismatic leader. Now, the charismatic leader, this type of person in the school is the kind of person that maybe is leading a food drive at the school, or is head of the book club, or is helping tutor other kids after school. Being a high status, high likable person, I recognize too, and I believe sets you up for the most success in life. This means that people like you, people care about what you have to say, people value your opinion, and you have access to people's trust. You have access to things in school. You have access to community. You have access to all this stuff. Now, to get in this high status, high likability role isn't always the easiest thing to do. Sometimes it is difficult. Sometimes it is hard for people to, feel that you're someone that is popular and cool and interesting at the same time. It's not always easy to get there, but I think ultimately, being a charismatic leader sets you up the best in the real world, right? If you can learn to build those nurturing skills of caring about others, being compassionate, being understanding early on, you could do that in school, then I think you actually set yourself up to get closer to this charismatic leader role. Now, look, when I say high status, that doesn't only mean that there is one popular group in school, and then if you're not part of that popular group, you're a loser. No. You can have multiple high status communities, high status groups in school. Sometimes they are a club or an organization. Sometimes they are sports related. Sometimes they are people who are just kind of helpful to other students. That makes you a high status person. I think in order to achieve this stage, it really means going above and beyond in helping others, in trying to boost them up, lift them up, make them feel cared for, make them feel listened to. That's how you aim to becoming a charismatic leader. It's not out of reach for you if you're not cool with the popular sports kid. It's not out of reach to you if you are not the brightest or not the best academically. But it is possible for you to reach this if you are kind and compassionate to other people, guys. This is the secret. This is the real secret. Being someone that's helpful to others, being someone that's understanding, being someone that can listen and can be caring is really what's going to help you succeed. And if you could start building those skills in school now, when you get out there into the real world, you'll have mastered them. You'll have felt like, wow, I've developed patience by being there for others. And no matter what I encounter, I feel like I can tap into those skills. So I want to jump in and I want to get a chat poll going, guys. I want to get your perspective on this. Everyone in the chat, I want you guys to jump in and answer. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you feel like you have what it takes to be a charismatic leader? That's someone that is high status, and that means that you are a leader of a club, you are a leader of an organization, you are trying to rally kids together to do good things. And then you're highly likable. You're someone people can turn to, someone people can open up to, someone want to be around. Do you feel like you have what it takes to be a charismatic leader? I want everyone to jump in and say yes or no. Looking back when I was in school, I probably would have said no, even though I probably could have said yes. I probably could have stepped in more. Was I kind to my friends? Was I helpful? Absolutely. But I always felt like I was never popular enough to be that. And I think like it is entirely possible, right? Yeah, Everglow too. There's also the maybe option, right? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I think definitely my answer would have been maybe as well. Let's see. Alexander Cole says no. Darktar says, nah, although me and my friends led a board game club back in high school, so I guess that counts. I think so, Darktar. I think that if you organize something where people in your school came together and people like talking to you, people like hanging around with you, I think that makes you a charismatic leader. So I wouldn't sell yourself short on that. Synchro Legend says, yes, anything is possible from what I've seen. Absolutely, Synchro Legend. I agree with you on that. I think anything is possible here. Jalen says, yes, because I help one of my special needs friends. That's awesome, Hamish. I'm sorry, hey, Jalen. That's awesome, Jalen. It's really good to hear. Azim says, this is the quadrant that feels like it's difficult to be a part of, but it feels like it's the most right kind of popularity compared to others. Absolutely, Azim. Like I said, there's those two quadrants of popularity. You can become the bully or you can become the leader, right? And they are both popular, but where they differ is in how you either hurt people or in how you help people. A lot of people default to hurting others to make themselves feel bigger, but it's actually helping people that actually makes you feel bigger. That actually raises both of you. And people who end up being bullies don't really realize this. They think the only way that I can get attention and be cared for is if I bring others down. But the truth is, if you can organize, if you can inspire, if you can be patient and kind and understanding, man, you will be a charismatic leader in your school. Sensei Moon says, no, well, yes. Everglow says, I'm a great lead singer, so kind of. I have all the self-beliefs to carry myself and others, and I've been described to have a relentless musical energy. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Yeah, it sounds like you're just an interesting person. I'd love to learn more about you, man. Corgi Leon Ginger. That's Benji Leon Ginger. Corgi Lover Princess says, yes, I've heard from several of my friends without even asking that I'm nice and considerate. So yeah, I think I could definitely improve more so. Awesome, man. That's really cool. All right. I want to move on to the fourth quadrant here, guys. Let's go back to the main chart here. So looking at the status, like I said, I was telling you, Azim, that popularity falls into high status at the top, right? Now, let's look at low status and high likability. Is this also a place that is desirable? Is this also a place to be okay for you to exist in? Well, let's explore that. Let's explore it a little bit more. If you are someone that is low status, meaning that you're not the most popular person, not everyone knows who you are, you're not the coolest kid in school, you're someone that's more in the low status tier, but you have high likability, meaning that your friends care about you, your friends, like want to be around you, people enjoy, interacting with you when they do have interactions with you, you fall into this charming geek phase. Now look, not everyone likes the word geek, I understand, but I use it more in an endearing way, not in a judgmental way. When I say the charming geek, I mean, hey, look, you might have a very niche interest. Maybe you like playing a certain video game. Maybe you like playing card games, or maybe you like a certain anime and not many people like it. Or maybe you like Marvel and not a lot of people at your school like it. What makes you a charming geek is that the people that know you, the people that love interacting with you, care about you. And they care about what you have to say, and they value what you bring to the table. Now, I think I fell into the charming geek role when I was in school because my friends really liked me. We were kind to each other. We did a lot of fun, interesting things. Some people use geek as nerd and interchangeably. I feel like those words hopefully have kind of lost their negative connotation, and they can kind of just be inspiring. Like, yeah, I'm a geek. Oh, I'm a geek. I love math. Or I'm a nerd. I love collecting Marvel action figures, right? Hopefully now they've kind of become more normalized. That's my take on it. But when I say the charming geek, I think that You don't need to be super popular to be liked by other people, for other people to care about you, for other people to want to enjoy your energy, guys. And this is also the key piece I wanted to share. Many of us aspire to be the charismatic leader. I want people to really love me and care about me, and I want to be really liked, and I want to be really popular, but not everyone has that goal. Not everyone has that vision. Sometimes you just want to be liked by the people that matter to you in your life, your friends, your family, kids in your class that you're on good terms with. It's okay to not be super popular. And I want you guys to realize that is the biggest takeaway here. You don't have to strive for popularity, because what's more important than popularity is likability. Are you a likable person? Are you someone that people can get along with? Are you someone that people love opening up to and sharing things with? Are you someone that has a fun and interesting personality and just your energy shines in its own way? That's what I think matters so much more, guys. And the reason why I wanted to walk you through these 4 stages of popularity is because I wanted you to really start to see that being likable ultimately is what matters the most. Here are the 4 stages, guys. I've outlined them here: the popular bully, the struggling loner, the charismatic leader, the charming geek. I would say if you guys want, screenshot this or come back to the stream later so you can kind of really think deeper about this chart. The popular bully has trouble making deep and real connections in the future, like we talked about. It's hard for them because they're so used to putting people down that they don't know what it's like to be in an environment where you don't do that. The struggling loner, they may become, I misspelled that, they may become disconnected and feel helpless and lonely in the future. And this is a tough spot to be in, where you feel like you're by yourself. And I think that if you are in that situation where you feel like no one understands you and no one gets you, try to get more involved in things that you care about. Maybe it's joining an online club. Maybe it's joining the Discord or finding a Discord for something that you like. Not everyone is going to have in-person, in-school friends. So finding friends online might be the next best thing. And it's okay to have friends online. It's okay for that to be your main friend group if you feel like they understand you better and you connect with them better. There's the charismatic leader. And like we said, this person can connect with others and aims to take an altruistic and powerful positions in life. These are the people that lead organizations or maybe even become politicians or, try to create charities and stuff like that. So becoming high status and high likable maybe is desirable, but it's not for everyone. And that leads to the charming geek. These people find it easier to be successful later in life despite being labeled a nerd in school. Here's the thing too, guys. Just because you're not the most popular in school doesn't mean that you won't be successful. There are lots of people who are not popular that just care about being a good friend, just care about helping others, and they're able to kind of be successful. So this is what I pose to you guys. It is not about popularity. Popularity is not the most important thing. Being likable is what positions you the best for the future. Being likable by other people, being likable by your classmates, being likable by your friends, that's going to give you the greatest lead in the future. It's going to help you succeed the most. So what are some likable qualities, right? If you had to kind of write it down, what would you say are some likable qualities? I would love for you guys to jump into the chat and answer. And here's a list I've put together of different likable qualities. Like I said, if you want, screenshot this so you can kind of think, I want to embody some of those. And anyone that's watching right now, I want you guys to look at this list. If something stands out to you, something that you want to do more of, something that you feel you are good at and you actually carry forward, write it in the chat. If you feel like you are a caring leader, write that in the chat. If you feel like you have realistic optimism about the world, write it in the chat. I'd love to know where you guys put yourself. Where do you put yourself in terms of these likable qualities? Being an active listener, being patient, being understanding, being empathic, being responsible, being encouraging of others, being non-judgmental. These are all qualities that I believe we should aspire for, because these are the qualities that are going to help you make more friends in life, become more popular, definitely, but also become more likable. And not just likable by other people, but likable by yourself. You're going to like yourself more if you're okay with not being afraid to make mistakes. You're going to be less judgmental of yourself. You're going to be more responsible and take ownership of, hey, I want to work hard. I want to accomplish things. I may not always get it right, but this is what I aspire to do. So I want to jump in. Anyone in the chat, write out what you guys, what are some of the likable qualities you feel you embody? Donna says, I need to be more patient and value self-worth. Definitely, Donna, I hear you in that. Valuing self-worth is something we all need to do more. Recognizing that we bring a lot to the table and our opinion is worth sharing. Corgi says, easy to open up to and share what's on your mind. Definitely, man, definitely. Azim says, which quadrant do you think Harry Potter falls into? I think he's been through all of this except popular bully. Yeah, definitely. I would say Harry Potter probably went through a curve of being bottom left to bottom right to top left. Top right, I mean. You know, I think he kind of went on a curve through all the books. Rage Master says, you don't need to be popular to make friends, get into a relationship and all that stuff. You just need to be the person on who you are and be proud of who you are. Definitely, man. I love that. Love that, Rage Master. Everglow says, I'm optimistic, energetic, compassionate, realistic, honest, forgiving, responsible. Love it, man. It's awesome. I think you embody such amazing qualities there. Scott says, I feel like I fulfill most of these qualities personally. Maybe improve my accountability and responsibility. Definitely, man. Yeah, look, these are all qualities all of us can work on. We can all work on improving them, guys. I definitely think that there are things that we can, try better, things that we can do better. Guys, also try not to spam. Myriad says, for me, I'm like a caring person. Awesome, man. Yeah, I believe you are. I think you are a caring person. Now, guys, I think it's so important. Like I said, I want to drill home that point of popularity is not the most important thing. It truly is being a likable person. And you have to learn to like yourself, right? Like what you bring to the table. Because if you don't like yourself, if you don't feel like you're someone that is worth listening to, you're someone that can be understanding, you don't feel like you are someone that can be patient, well, then you're doubting your own abilities. And I think these are all qualities each of us can work on and improve. I'm jumping to the last piece here, guys, and that's going to be this. This is a quote from Mr. Rogers that I felt was so important to share. I really wanted to kind of put it out there and talk to you guys about it. Because when we think of popularity, oftentimes we think of fame, we think of fortune, we think of success, we think of everyone idolizing us. But as Fred Rogers once said, fame is a 4-letter word. And like tape or Zoom or face or pain or life or love, what ultimately matters is what we do with it. Guys, popularity isn't the end all be all. What matters most is how we can embody positive qualities, how we can believe in ourselves, and how we can carry forward in a way that lifts other people up, that inspires them, that encourages them to also work on being their best self. That, in my opinion, is how you truly succeed in life. The most successful people in life, not all of them are kind, not all of them are understanding, not all of them are nice, right? You can achieve success without those things. But I feel to have the deepest sense of inner peace, to have the deepest connection and communication with others, and to be, I believe, the most likable person you can be, is to truly embody all of these qualities. Now I think you guys know what time it is. It's time for a mindful moment. Thank all of you guys for being a part of this live stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed everything we talked about. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was inspiring. I hope that there was something you took away from it. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up button, we're at 46 likes. Let's get this to 50 likes if we can. Guys, I love talking about these topics with you. And better yet, I love in these mindful moments for us to reflect on them. So I want you to reflect on it. I know a bunch of you guys shared what are some of the likable qualities you want to work on. What are the qualities you believe you have? I want us to take 10 seconds here, guys. 10 seconds. I have my bell right here. 10 seconds to think about the qualities we want to embody and carry forward in life. Because like I said, popularity is great and fun. It can lead to great things, but being likable is something that we should all aspire to pertain, something we should all aspire to obtain. So take these 10 seconds, guys. You can close your eyes with me if you want. And let's think deeply about the positive qualities we want to embody that will make us likable and make us like ourselves. 10 seconds. We're going to warm up the bell there. I know you have what it takes to be somebody great. If you're someone that tunes in every single week to these live streams, if you're someone that catches my videos on and off again, just know that you are loved and you're special just the way you are. Now, before I go to the end here, I do want to answer Azim's $5 super chat. Azim, thank you for the $5 super chat. Azim said, should you show your crush your new self or tell them I've changed? How do I do it? How to win over their friends, and what if they don't care? This is a deep, deep question, Azim. I think that telling someone that you've changed, telling someone I'm my new self, might not carry the same amount of weight as showing them that you've improved, changing how you interact with them, changing how maybe you were nervous before and now you're not. Maybe you were quiet before and now you're not. You have to let them see the new you in how you interact with them. And I think the way to go about doing that is give it time. And when you do have that moment where you can interact with them, don't be hesitant to reach out to them. Don't be hesitant to talk to them. Don't be hesitant to say hi. Whether it's them or their friends. If you randomly run into one of their friends, let that friend see the new you, because the best thing that friend can do is to say, hey, I ran into Azim today and he's just a lot of fun to talk to. He's way different from how he was in high school. He's different. He's cool now. He's fun. He's interesting. Let people see that change. Let people see that you've evolved, because just saying I'm different doesn't hold much weight. They need to see that you're caring. They need to see that you're understanding, see that you're patient, see that you have evolved into the new you. Azim, thank you for the $5 super chat. I look forward to our next conversation, which will be sometime in November now that the month is coming to an end and we'll be in a new month soon. So Azim, make sure to book that Patreon call. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. Let's go to the end stream here. I'm going to link up over here a video on this side, a video which goes deeper into developing being more likable. I also put together a playlist of all my different videos on how to be more popular, how to be more likable. So check that out over here. Thank you again for being a part of this live stream. Head on over to Instagram for the Instagram after party. Thank you guys again. Hit the thumbs up on your way out, and I will see you guys over there. As always, love and peace. See you guys next time.